All right, let's take a look at finding inverse functions. All right, here in example 3, we're given a degree 3 cubic polynomial function, and it wants us to graph this function f of x and then find the inverse function and produce its graph. Now remember, we're talking about the characteristics of inverse functions. When we do find these graphs, we'll notice the domain and the range, right, of the two graphs are going to be identical. Domain of f of x, for example, will equal range of f inverse. And vice versa, the domain of the inverse function will equal the range of the f function. Now, before we begin, as we talk about this cubic polynomial function, x cubed plus 1, we already know the domain of that function, right? This is a polynomial function. We know in polynomials, domain is always all real numbers x. So again, domain being all the real number x values, where our graph will take place on the x-axis, which is a smooth, continuous function graph. It's a polynomial function. We don't have any undefined values. We're not dividing by x. We don't have any even root terms to be concerned with. With that said, let's go ahead and graph it. Let's take a look at what this graph would look like. Now, let's go back to what is the cubic polynomial. Y equals x cubed. We want to graph in its parent model. We know it passes through the origin. We could use the point 1, 1, right? 1 cubed is 1. We know negative 1 cubed is negative 1, passes through negative 1, 1, right? We could find some points. Now, again, as we graph in this parent model, we'll go ahead and graph it in. Right? There's a graph of the cube root function, y equals x cubed. Now, if we want to sketch x cubed plus 1, well, we know this plus 1, right? We know that's one of our transformation properties, our vertical shift. We're going to shift our graph of x cubed up 1 unit on the y-axis, right? We're going to add 1 to every y-coordinate. So, for example, 1, 1, if we want to, we can graph it here in a different color. 1, 1 would move up here to 1, 2. Right, 0, 0 would move to 0, 1. Negative 1, move to negative 1, 0. And I could go ahead and graph in, right, this x cubed plus 1 function. So here's the graph, right, of f of x. F of x equal to the x cubed graph, up 1 unit, x cubed plus 1. So we got its graph in here. And again, we want to plot those points that we just mentioned. Again, went through 1, 2, went through the point 0, 1, and it going through the point negative 1, 0. Now, while we have it, let's just go ahead and erase out the parent model. We use that to help us graph it, so we'll go ahead and erase it. All right, but we've got a sketch. So again, good review of transformations and building a graph of the cubic polynomial. Now, we know the range of the f function is all real numbers, even in this problem. So with that said, we want to go ahead and write that in. We can, and we can put it in the same color. But our range there is all real numbers, negative infinity to infinity, right? This is where the graph takes place on the y-axis. So we can see that, which already means when we find the f inverse function, we know the domain of it will also be all real numbers x, right? We know they're equal. And just like the range of the f inverse function, since domain is all real numbers, we know it's going to equal the same thing as domain of the f function, so it's going to be all real numbers x, or all real numbers y, I should say, because this is range, right? And domain is x, range is y. So remember, they're identical, right? Domain from the f function, same as the range of f inverse function. Same goes for the inverse, right? Domain is the same as a range of f. Now let's go ahead and find this graph. So we already know its characteristics before we've even found it. With that said, let's go ahead and start off with, just go ahead and establish the relating variables. So we're looking at a cubic polynomial with two variables, x and y. Y is equal to x cubed plus 1. Now in our second step, as we're going to establish relating variables, we want to interchange, right? We want to swap out x and y. If we're trying to produce the inverse function, we're going to have to interchange x and y, which is the inverse, right, relationship. So we've got our relation between x and y. Well, now we're going to swap that out. So y becomes x, and x becomes y, right, in the inverse relation. Now, with that said, we want to find the inverse function. So that means we're going to have to take this equation, the inverse relation, and we're going to have to solve it for y, right? We got to create a function of x. So to do that, let's go ahead and solve for y. We go ahead and subtract the 1 over. And as we do that, we get x minus 1 equal to y cubed. And now we would take the cube root of both sides, right? If we want y, we have y cubed. We use the principal roots. And now we'll have what we're looking for, right? We have the cube root of x minus 1 equal to y. So that means the inverse function, so remember our notation, superscript on f is inverse, is equal to this cube root function, the cube root of x minus 1. And let's go ahead and graph that. So if we were to graph in, right, f inverse of x, now what does cube root graph look like? So let's just review the cube root graph. Cube root graph, cube root of x, cube root of 0 is 0, so we know it passed through 0, 0. Cube root of 1 is 1, it passed through 1, 1. I know the cube root of negative 1 is negative 1, it passed through negative 1, negative 1. And again, graphing the cube root graph, it would look like this. But that would be the graph of y equal to the cube root of x. Of course, we want to graph in the cube root of x minus 1. So let's review our transformation properties. We're going to shift horizontally the graph of cube root of x right 1 unit. So we subtract 1 from x, right? We're going to add a 1 to every x coordinate. So we look at our graph, right? If you want, we can put it here in a different color, right? 0, 0 will move here to 1, 0. 1, 1 will move to 2, 1. Negative 1 will move to 0, negative 1. So now I could graph that in, right? As we're looking at this graph shifted to the right, right, 1 unit. So here is my graph of my inverse function. Here's the cube root of x minus 1. And again, we can erase, right, this cube root graph. All right, so we use that to help us. So you can see the two graphs together. Now, if you remember, we talked about symmetry with inverse functions. So a good little check step, let's look at our symmetry line. Right, our symmetry line of all graphs of inverse functions is the line y equal to x. So let's go ahead and graph in y equal x. Y equal x is a line with a slope of 1 and a y-intercept at the origin. Pass through 1, 1, it passed through negative 1, negative 1. It's your identity equation. So as you graph in that line, I'll go ahead and graph it in. Right, here's your symmetry line. You see these two graphs that we graphed are symmetrical to that line. Right, so again, that's a quick check. Now you make a little better picture. Might not be sure from the graph there of our sketch by hand. We've done a quick sketch. But this will be a good chance to look at this answer that we've come up with. Let's get our TI calculator out. So we'll go look at it here together graphically. So let's go to our TI. So on our TI, let's go to y equal. Let's put in the cube, x cubed plus 1 graph, x to the third power plus 1. Right, as we graph in x cubed plus 1. And down here, y2, let's put in the cube root. All right, the cube root, I can go to my math key to build the cube root. And let's put in x minus 1. And then while we're at it, let's put in a y3, the test line of y equal x. So let's graph these together. So my cubic polynomial, x cubed plus 1, that was given, I've stored in y1. I'm going to graph it in blue. And in black, I'm going to graph in the cube root function. And in red, I'm going to look at the test line. So as you graph these together, right, as you see your graph for this polynomial function, then you can see this graph here as you were to graph it. Now, mine's cutting it all, but you should have a graph in which you see even the intersection, right? If you were to look at this graph, they're going to intersect here at this point here, both of them. But you can look at that on your TI. So again, your calculator should show you a good picture of that symmetry. right? So again, I just wanted to give you a picture of inverse functions.